Yep, you read that title correctly. I also would have had this out much sooner if I wasn't trying to put my daughter to sleep for the past hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Terron Armstead has retired. What is up, Finn fans? We are going to talk about Terron Armstead, his retirement, what that means for the Miami Dolphins, if it actually means anything for the Miami Dolphins. But I have to, first and foremost, give you guys a little update on what I've been doing and what I am doing. So, first and foremost, you guys have watched Friday's live stream with me and Reason starting our brand new collection and our brand new collaboration. That is not the only thing I am doing because I have been incredibly busy. If you also didn't know, me and Mike from Dolphins Talk also have a show that is over on dolphinstalk.com. You can also see some of my content over at dolphinstalk.com. So I have those two, and then I have added a third, and this one is a little bit different. Each of the things I am doing is a little bit different, trying to bring little different aspects of the Miami Dolphins and NFL. Like with me and Reasons, it's not just the Dolphins. It's also the NFL, and we're going to talk about every little thing that is going on, not again with the Dolphins. And also we got a lot planned in the regular season, but also I have this going on with, yes, you can see there, Omar Kelly, Alan Poupart, TD Fins Talk, and myself. It's called the Dolphins Collective. Now, this is something that I have been brought on, which I couldn't be happier to be brought into. Again, you might not like some of the people that's on the panel. I understand people don't like me. Again, just if you go ask people, hey, what do you think of Dougley? Oh, he's too this, he's too that. I get it, but I respect each and every one of those human beings, just like I respect Reason, who's a very good friend of mine. Hence, we are starting our little endeavor. And also, I respect Mike, and that's why I am doing my little part with Mike and Dolphins Talk. So those are the three things I got going on right now. Go check them out. If you like what you see, please support them. And obviously, this upcoming Wednesday, I will be over on Reason's channel, Finside the NFL, for episode 2 of our fantastic show that we got going on. And the Dolphins Collective will be starting on Tuesday. So go over, subscribe to Reason, subscribe to Dolphins Talk, and go check out the Dolphins Collective. So let's jump into this Mamma Jam, because this happened, about an hour ago? Miami Dolphins, Terron Armstead has announced that he's retiring. Yeah, around 9 o'clock. It's now 10:58 that I'm recording this because, again, I was trying to put my daughter to sleep since about 8:30. So I was stuck in there for a while. The news breaks. Jordan Schultz says, 5-time Pro Bowler left tackle Terron Armstead tells me he's retiring from the NFL. A tremendous career comes to a close. Armstead, who starred at HBCU, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, played 12 seasons with the Miami Dolphins and New Orleans Saints, highlighted by a 2018 All-Pro campaign. So yes, the Miami Dolphins are not bringing back Terron Armstead. He is having a party though tonight, celebrating and announcing his retirement. I know Drew Brees is there talking, a bunch of people there talking, and obviously you're going to have people saying, oh, why isn't Tua there? Is Tua there? Why isn't Tua? He is there. Marcel Louis-Jacques says, after a decorated 12 years NFL career, 5-time Pro Bowler Terron Armstead has announced his retirement at a party attended by former teammates like Drew Brees, Calais Campbell, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, and more. So yes, Tua is there, Calais Campbell is there. I'm pretty sure Austin Jackson is there. I'm pretty sure, the offensive lineman he's worked with the Saints and obviously with the Dolphins are there. I'm pretty sure Robert Hunt is probably there. So let's not start this whole BS of let's just stop. But the Miami Dolphins will not be retaining Terron Armstead. Now, he took a big pay cut while he decided if he was coming back or not to help the Miami Dolphins out. So, I don't think him retiring is really going to affect the cap, as in give us more money or take some of that money back. I think it's kind of just stay in status quo, and then he is retiring. But I will give you more information as I get it on the whole cap situation with him retiring. But this shouldn't be a shock to anybody, him retiring. This shouldn't be something out of right field like Jalen Phillips retiring, or Tyreek Hill deciding he's going to retire, or anything like that, where it's like, whoa, what are we going to do now? We don't have so-and-so. I've been talking about this since the Jets home game last year, where Terron Armstead took himself out, not because he couldn't emotionally or mentally do it, but he physically couldn't play, and he didn't want to detriment the team and hurt them in a way that we would lose the game, which we ended up winning in overtime. And you saw him sitting on the sideline. He just looked very out of it and very just like, oh God, is this it? Being able to talk with Terron Armstead, shout out to the Die Bar podcast for giving me the opportunity to talk to Terron Armstead. It's a lot of T's. It seemed like he was at peace when we were talking to him. He talked a lot about his kids, his twin daughters, and his son. He's talking, I asked him about the future, about him potentially coaching. He seemed very happy and at peace, like he kind of already made that decision back then, especially when he was talking about his kids, and being able to spend more time with his kids. So again, this should not be a shock. This should not be what are we going to do at left tackle? Patrick Paul is the Miami Dolphins starting left tackle for 2025. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I know people are now going to say, "Ooh, are the Dolphins going to take a tackle at 13? And is that now a priority with Terron Armstead not being there?" And blah, blah, blah. McDaniel came out and he said that they are acting as if Terron Armstead won't be with the team. Again, they took Patrick Paul with the second round pick. And if you're going to give Liam Eichenberg 1 million chances for him to make the team and then have him start in different positions, whether it's left guard, whether it's center, whether it's right guard, whether it's a tackle position, wherever, if you're going to give Liam Eichenberg chance after chance after chance after chance after chance, let's give Patrick Paul at least more than 3 starts to see if he is the guy at left tackle, especially being a second round pick. So we can pump the brakes a little bit on the whole Dolphins are probably going to take a tackle at left at 13 now, because no, that's not a guarantee. If Membu is there at 13, I am running to the podium, because he is a monster of a man, can play guard and obviously play tackle, and he has came out and said he would like to play guard. So it's not like we have to force him to do it, whereas Will Campbell has said he is a tackle and wants to play tackle, obviously, because he has, and also you pay a little bit more to play tackle. Nothing has changed. Nothing in the Dolphins organization has changed. I bet you the Miami Dolphins knew that Terron Armstead was going to retire probably a month ago. Nothing has changed. The Dolphins are still going to stay their status quo. It's not our status quo, because our status quo is not good enough. Their status quo is we're focusing on the trenches somewhat, as we have one starting defensive lineman and we don't have a left guard, and there's a ton of vets out there that just sign one to make us feel better and to not pigeonhole yourself to, you need a guard, we need a guard at this position. It just boggles my mind. But again, this shouldn't be a surprise. This shouldn't be a shock to anyone. This shouldn't be oh my God, the sky's falling. How about this? If going into the draft, or waking up this Saturday, or going into Monday as you're driving into work, and if you just ponder about the Miami Dolphins every once in a while and you're like, ugh, your feelings on where the Dolphins sit right now, whether you're optimistic, thinking, hey, they can hit on some draft picks, they, fill out the free agency afterwards, they'll be fine, we'll figure it out, they'll assess, da-da-da. That thought process should not change from before knowing Terron Armstead retired till after. And the same thing can be said for the people who are very skeptical. I'm included in that group, where you're just like, oh God, they have so many holes that they have to fill. How are they going to fill it? Shouldn't change. It shouldn't get worse now that Terron Armstead isn't going to be playing. Plain and simple. Now, Terron Armstead had a fantastic career. I think he's a Hall of Famer. When will he become a Hall of Famer? I don't know. Offensive linemen kind of take a hot minute unless you have like a decorated career. I think he did win a Super Bowl with the Saints, but unless you have like a, multiple Pro Bowl, multiple All Pro, multiple this, type of career. Like we're still waiting on some of our own offensive linemen to get into the Hall of Fame. And, there's offensive linemen that are out there that are waiting to get into the Hall of Fame. And, I think to me personally, I would say, yes, he is a Hall of Famer, 12 years, 5-time Pro Bowler, All Pro at some points. I think he was a second team All Pro. So I think he's a Hall of Famer, but it's at what point will he get to the Hall of Fame? Because again, Richmond Webb is still waiting, and that man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So we're in no different situation than we were a couple hours ago. How about that? But he retired. Calais Campbell's gone. Terron Armstead retired. We need some leadership stepping up. We need maybe Aaron Brewer to step up. Maybe have Austin Jackson step up. Maybe James Daniels going to come in and he's going to step up for the offensive line, because Terron Armstead did a lot for the Dolphins offensive line, not only on the field, but off the field, bringing them together. Same thing with the defensive line with Calais Campbell not there. Sealy needs to step it up. Bradley Chubb needs to step it up. These veterans in that group need to step it up, as well as on the defense in a whole with Brooks and with Jalen Ramsey. They got to step it up and they got to take that leadership role. So it's going to be interesting to see how who steps it up. Tua is there's the quarterback. He's the the main guy. He should always have a leadership role. So that comes without saying. I'm wondering who's going to be the next guy who's going to step up and take that leadership role. I would love it to be Tyreek Hill. We'll see. But we're at a position now where, again, I'm not surprised nothing changes. Just keep going forward with Patrick Paul as your left tackle. But we need a left guard. And now you need a good left guard. Because if Patrick Paul struggles a little bit, you need that guy who can kind of help him out. That's kind of where we were with Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson, he didn't have a bad 2023. Well, it's because he had Robert Hunt to his left. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out. But shout out to Terron Armstead for retiring, man. Deserves it. 33 years old, 12-year career. Again, I think the Hall of Famer, but at what point? Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you on Monday. We are breaking down, funny enough, the offensive line. I'm going to do the entire offensive line, not interior and exterior, but I will maybe break it down to exterior, like tackles. I might rank like 3, but I think I'm going to give you 5 guards because that's what we really need. So I'll see you on Monday, but like usual, stay classy and fins up.